You're listening to Leadership's Insights, Navigating Career and Life. I am Maggie Rombach, your host, bringing inspiring stories and practical advice on leadership, career development, and work-life balance.
Today, I'm super excited to have a good old friend with us, Josh Adler. Josh is not just an entrepreneur who's moved into education, and we'll tell you more about it in a second. He's also an old friend and fellow MBA student. We did a course together in Geneva on international organizations management, and it's just awesome to have you here. So before I give the word to you, let me just super quickly explain how this will work, and then I'll let you describe your own leadership story. So I've prepared 5 questions for us. That's the same questions I'm asking every leader. So I'm really curious to see how every leader takes it a bit differently. And there you can elaborate a little bit. So I would like to ask you to be quite concise. And then I have 7 quick burst questions. So I will fire them at you military style, and I challenge you to answer with 1 word. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 questions you can answer with more than 1 word. So that's the idea. So with no further ado, could you please briefly describe your own leadership story? What brought you here?
First of all, it is a delight to see you and be on your show, Maggie. And I wish you all the best with what you're building here. My leadership story has 2 or 3 phases to it. First, I followed my passions and intersected them, I guess, a little bit with my skills. So my early passions were around music and journalism, but my skills were in computer science. So I landed up having my first business being a music magazine about the music industry. And that was underpinned by some half-decent technology, which then built a technology business that helped other magazine and newspaper owners in the country that I live, South Africa, to be more effective and efficient as the digital age all emerged in the late 90s and 2000s. And then I did that for a while, and then I really found that they were separating a bit, the passion and what I was doing. And then had the opportunity to change into education with a small shift via Geneva with you, which was a year I will never forget of learning and friendship. And for the last 13 years, I've been in education at a place called African Leadership Academy, supporting young leaders to pursue careers of impact in all different spheres and sectors and all over the world. I hope that's a useful summary.
That's a fantastic summary. And I actually didn't know about your early marriage of passion and IT skills. So you always learn something new. Excellent. So with that, let's start with the first question. So here we go. What are your top 3 guiding principles, both in your career and your personal life? Top 3 principles or values actually.
Yeah, those are actually pretty clear to me now, and they're actually values at the school that I work. So I've had to think about them a lot, or had the opportunity to. So curiosity is the first one. I just love everything about everything. I'm a deeply curious person. So if I get bored, I just move on. So curiosity. Integrity is important, and I think we all do our best to be integrous, and I, like everybody else, do my best. And then the last one is the value of excellence. I really try to be truly excellent at a few things, and I'm proud of the things I've become excellent at.
Excellent. That's actually
excellent.
Excellent. Curiosity, integrity, and excellence. And also, I like that you say excellent in a few things. I think that's a learning by itself, to not try to be excellent in everything. Great. So here comes number 2. Which accomplishment in your life are you proudest of, and why? It could be anything. It could be from private life, from something at work.
Building things that last. So generally, of all the things I've had the opportunity to build, and generally with other people, they're still going, even if I've left them. And I think that's also true of relationships, right? Like I might not see some people for a long time, but I'm generally a relationships to last type person and building things that last type person. So I'm proud of that.
I love that. That's great. And it's true, we don't catch up often, but when we do, it feels like 10 years ago and nothing changed. So it's nice. So when hiring or promoting individuals, what qualities matter most beyond technical skills?
Yep. For me, when I'm hiring, it's generally evidence of having worked through a difficult problem or challenge until it was solved. The reason that's important for me is it helps me understand someone's ability to be independent, someone's ability to be resourceful, someone's ability to ask or not ask for help, and just general levels of commitment. Because I think ultimately that's what you want. You want people who are owning problems that are given to them, and then they're excited about solving them and don't give up until they do.
I really like that too. Having worked through something, through a challenge until it was solved. Excellent. Thank you. It comes number 4. And you're actually super concise. I think you've been the most concise interview so far. That's great. It's substance and to the point. So your top tip for maintaining work-life balance in today's fast-paced world?
Oh, that one's quite easy for me. You have to have other people who are not related to work that depend on you for their happiness. And you can't be able to get rid of them easily, and vice versa. I think that's what's given me balance. So I've always had close friends, family, different kinds of relationships where I am dependent on them and they are dependent on me for my happiness and vice versa. And by having to go home to that, it means you drop what's important at work and this other thing that's very important takes over. And just that shift of attention to another kind of problem that isn't work related is immediate balance. And sometimes it's not always happy. I mean, it doesn't have to be that this other part is always happy, but the fact that you're aspiring to happiness for those people and for yourself in those relationships is what I've found gives the most balance.
And that's true. It's really the meaning of balance in a way. You have work that is really important, but you have something else that's really important. And it's also interesting because there's more and more talk about work-life integration. And personally, I don't like that so much because for me, that also means you bring more work into your home, which it doesn't necessarily need to mean. But, I think it's actually important to have that split.
Yeah. If you're very young and still figuring this out, get a pet. Someone that will absolutely depend on you for their happiness and nourishment and sustenance. Yeah.
That's a good tip. Okay, so this is number 5. Could you share one valuable lesson from your private life, whether it's parenthood or sports or whatever, like a personal project, that has helped you at work?
That one's also quite easy. I guess the headline is drills. So when I was much younger, I was both a competitive swimmer. When I was much younger, I was both a competitive swimmer and I would say an average guitarist. But the reason I was, I guess, competitive and average was I did the drills. So the ability to practice scales on your guitar over and over and over and over until your fingers just kind of know what to do without you thinking. And the ability to just swim up and down the pool until your body can just turn it on without you having to really think about it. I think that's how excellence kind of manifests, right, in a few things. So there are other things today in my world where I've drilled myself into some areas of excellence. One of those was sort of grant management finance. I had no idea how much I had to learn to just practice, analyzing a different kind of financial statement and report and budget review and those sorts of things. And it becomes second nature. And then you start to see pictures and the numbers and you're able to make decisions that other people couldn't. And that's only because you did the drills. So do drills.
That's so true. And it's also excellent doesn't come just to you overnight. You know, if you don't do the drills, there's a chance you don't get there. Yeah, I'm actually learning to play the piano these days, and I'm not at this stage yet where my fingers just know what to do. But it's amazing because I already see how I'm getting better. But it's very gradual.
Good luck with that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, congrats. That's part one, and well done and super insightful answers. So now comes the even more fun and challenging part, because now come the quick fire burst questions. So I'll fire at you, and you try to do one word, but sometimes you might need some more.
Okay.
Ready to go?
Ready.
Let's do it. So please describe your leadership style in one word.
Expansive.
Name one significant role model.
Adama Sanneh.
Okay, so I might ask you later to explain who that is. Am I supposed to know? Is that somebody really famous?
No, but he's a mutual friend.
My God, Jesus. Yeah, I completely didn't pick up on the surname. Oh my God. Yeah, he'll be coming to that podcast also soon, I hope. Jesus, shame on me. Sorry, Adama. What's the key to successful teamwork?
Empathy.
One must-read book.
I don't have one word. Spy novels.
Type of dream job, if not your current one. So not necessarily a specific position, but the type of work that could be another dream.
Outdoors.
Preferred superpower.
Chess master.
What are you most grateful for?
The life I have.
Amazing. Well done. Thank you. So as we wrap up, as a parting thought, what career advice would you offer to your 18-year-old self, or just anybody starting off in their professional journey? What piece of advice would you give?
Start watching YouTube earlier to learn stuff, not consume stuff.
Excellent. I tell that my 6-year-old. Let's see how that'll go down. Cool. Well, thanks so much, Josh. That's been amazing. I really love your answers. That explains also why we connect, because you're also clearly a people and relationship person, but still aiming for some good stuff. So thanks so much
Thank
for
you,
being
Megan.
here.
That was great. Just for your own interest, the reason I find Adama such a role model is ever since I've known him, he's, I think, mainly been pursuing identity, which I think in the world today is being sought by so many people, and their ability to do it and the way they're doing it, I think they're all failing. And I think the way that he does it, has done it, and is able to express it is deeply inspiring to me. So, watch his TED Talk.
Oh, he's done a TED Talk. I haven't. Okay.
He has a TED Talk on creativity and other things, but I think it'll give you a sense of some of his views on identity, which are foundational.
Fantastic. I hadn't thought of identity because I admire him for other reasons, and one of them just the creativity and the beauty he brings to the world through his work, which I think it's really important too.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's been great. Thanks so much for being here. And
Pleasure.
voila, we'll be in touch. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Leadership Insights, Navigating Career and Life. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, keep leading authentically with your heart and mind.